Okay, this is my new podcast. My new podcast. Um, yeah, it's called, anyways, Fake Celebrity Interviews, Not Real, Didn't Happen, and Other Stuff. Okay, basically, I'm doing stupid stuff that I think of. If it's dumb, then I'm doing it. Do stupid is what I say. So, yeah. So, I have a few things that I'm going to do, different sections. And, okay, let's start. The first section is I tell a joke and I tell a story. One joke, one story. And basically, uh, I did a show on the Fringe, and what I did was I wrote a bunch of little ditties that little observations that I had and stories about my life and stuff. And I wrote them down, and I made a show out of it on the Fringe. It was fun. 2 weeks. We ran for 2 weeks. And so I'm going to use the stories that I used in that show, and I do one. I have like over 200 stories. They're stories of my life and just fun facts and stuff. Okay, so I tell my joke first, and then I'll tell a story. Okay, here's the joke. I just do any joke. I don't do my best. I just whatever. Okay, this is the joke. Okay, it goes like this. How did the chicken die? He tried to cross the road. Pause for laughs. Okay, anyways, that's the joke. Okay, I didn't say they were good. I'm not even gonna, even my bad ones, I'm gonna do anyways, right? Okay, so now one story, and I got it in a binder, and I randomly, like, I shuffled them all up. Okay, so here's the story. Okay, one night I was out with some work friends. We had some beers. I can't drink a lot. We were at some guy's house. We were all leaving. My friend jumped on the back of a slow moving car, so I jumped on also. He jumped off first, and the car started speeding away. I was still on the car. I jumped off the car and cracked my head on the pavement. We had to go to the emergency room. I don't remember a thing. Concussion for sure. I needed stitches. When I got home, my mom had to wake me up every so often to make sure that I don't go into a coma. I don't know if they still recommend that today. I had no ill will to the driver of the car. I think she felt bad. Yeah, I remember that. I was in my 20s, I think. And yeah, that was stupid of me. And I do remember it when I forgot it when I first happened. I didn't remember anything, but like a few months later, I remember exactly what happened. I remember waking up I remember going unconscious, and of course I don't remember anything. But I remember gaining consciousness in the bathroom, and they were like wiping off the blood. And I also remember gaining consciousness I was conscious when they drove me to the hospital emergency room. So yeah, that's the story. Okay, so that section is done. Okay, next section. Okay, so this is the next section. Um, the main bulk of it, I guess you could say, is the interview, the fake interview. And today, I fake interview Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wow, so great! I get to fake interview him. He's one of the best guys. Okay, uh, I edited it so that his voice is a little different than mine. At least this is my first time doing it, so I'm going to try to use a voice changer for his section of the answer of my questions. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Arnold Schwarzenegger, for coming in and doing this interview. Um, okay, you started bodybuilding at a young age, yes?
Yes, I was in my teens when I started lifting.
Then you got older and you decided you wanted to move to America to train and make it big.
The plan was laid out, and all I had to do was execute it.
I heard you were really poor when you came to America.
Yes, I had a few $100s to my name.
I heard when you first got to America and you were bodybuilding, I heard that you kept a chicken coop with chickens and rabbit cages with rabbits.
What? No.
I heard that you kept those animals so you could eat them. Is that true?
No.
Your then girlfriend would kill one live chicken and one live rabbit from your backyard. She would pluck the chicken and skin the rabbit every day so you would have enough fresh protein for your diet.
If you want to know the truth, yes. My girlfriend prepared my meals of chicken and rabbit every day for about 2 years.
How did that work exactly?
I would stock up about 15 chickens and 15 rabbits in my backyard. Like you said, I had a chicken coop and rabbit cages.
Where did you get the animals?
Well, you can't go to your grocery store for that. Every other week, I would go with my girlfriend and head to a farm about an hour from my home. He would supply me with live animals. I was dirt poor, but my girlfriend had an old beat-up car. We would use her car.
Did you save money?
I think it saved me a little more money but not much really. I liked that it was super fresh.
How did you cook it?
My girlfriend was not the greatest cook. She would boil the meat in water. Then when it was time to eat, she would usually fry the meat and put some hot sauce on it.
Sounds awful.
I wasn't eating for taste. I was eating to bulk up.
Sounds awful.
Yes, I did what I had to do.
I don't think you are allowed to raise chickens and rabbits in the city. You need a permit or something, at least.
It's old news. I never was told not to, so forget about it.
So, you had a big ego when you were younger.
Ego is a great thing. You're invincible if you have a healthy ego. You will never get anywhere not thinking you are the best. There is no one better than me.
Full of yourself?
Vision. Big vision.
Advice for others.
Have a mind of steel.
How did you get a mind of steel?
Easy. Just say, I got a mind of steel. Nothing can hurt me.
And that works?
Yes. You have to believe it, too.
You believe. What about people that are down and out?
Doesn't matter. Tell yourself, I have a mind of steel, and live it.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It doesn't work if you don't believe. You have to believe it.
It worked for you, I guess.
For everyone. You may not become a superstar like me, but it will get you through life. I guarantee it.
Let's move on.
You don't believe?
No, but that's fine.
You are going to get nowhere.
Taking steroids.
Yes, nothing wrong with that. Everyone was juiced up then. It wasn't outlawed.
I heard when you take a lot of steroids, your testicles shrink to the size of raisins.
No, that's just a bunch of hooey.
So your groin still is functional?
Well, after I stopped bodybuilding, I had kids, so what do you think?
True. The only person that fooled around in your marriage was you.
I don't want to talk about that.
Why did you cheat on your wife? Did she not satisfy you in bed? She seemed like a nice person. She wasn't dirty enough for you?
Shut up. Do not talk shit about my ex-wife.
Why do you care? She's not your wife anymore. Did she not give you blowjobs?
We are not talking about her in my interview. She's not here to defend herself.
You can answer the question. Did she give you blowjobs or not?
It's none of your business, but no, she did not give me blowjobs.
And that's why you cheated on her?
No.
Okay. So you became this great bodybuilder. You won a bunch of Mr. Universe awards and stuff.
I was at the pinnacle of my career.
Yes, my question is, how the hell did you think you were good enough to become an actor? You barely spoke English, and you look like a freak.
Don't call me a freak.
Okay. You weren't a freak. You just look like one.
My freakish body was not a curse. It was a blessing, really.
I think you are absolutely right. You came into the movie business at the exact right time. The action movie star was just around the corner, and you fit the bill. You look like a cartoon character, but in real life.
I was the baddest man on the planet.
I don't know about that.
What are you talking about? I was Mr. Universe, for God's sake. I was the baddest man on the planet, hands down.
I would have to argue that point with you. You are not the baddest man.
Who is badder than me?
You were bad, but I think there was other man that was badder than you.
Who?
Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet at around the same time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, he is tough and a good fighter, but he could not take me down in a real fight.
Are you joking me?
No, he wouldn't. He would never knock me out. You know why?
Why?
Because I am so much bigger than him. He's a little man. I may not be able to beat him up. I don't think he can beat me.
One punch.
What?
One punch and you are out cold.
Never. His punches would just bounce off my muscles.
I never thought about it that way.
I may not beat him down, but I would do everything in my power to keep Mike tied up. I learned how to fight when I was a kid in Austria. I can hold my own.
So you're basically saying you are both equal.
He's a good boxer, but I'm a bigger, smarter, and better looking than Mike Tyson.
There's that ego again.
No, I'm just speaking the truth.
Let's drop this.
Yeah, nobody games with this stupid comparison.
It's fun to think about.
No.
So what do you want to talk about?
We could talk about my new book.
So you have a new book out called Be Useful.
Yes, it's a bestseller.
Basically, it's a self-help book.
Yeah, it's a self-help book with references to my accomplishments using these tips.
Isn't it just a rehashing of every other self-help book? Vision, work hard, succeed at all costs.
I bet my life on my notes in this book. They work. You can succeed like me.
What I'm saying is, you just wrote this book to cash in on your fame. I don't know why you need more money.
It's not about the money. People I talk to all want to know my path to success.
So you wrapped it up in a book and you made $10-20 million more. Just add it to the pile.
I'm not going to feel ashamed for making money. I deserve everything I have. You're trying to make me into a villain.
You don't need that much money.
Let me ask you this. If I told you today, I will give you $10 million to produce for me 10 episodes of your podcast, what would you say?
I'll write you up the contract tomorrow.
So you're a sellout. You tell me I can't make millions of dollars, but you can?
For one thing, I have nothing. You already have over $50 million, and then you write a book to make more money.
Oh, so when I pay you $10 million, you're going to retire?
No.
You have enough now. You're a hypocrite.
I think this interview is over. Thank you, Arnold, for coming in today. I hope you lose $25 million in a bad deal sometime soon.
Fuck off.
Okay, this is the next section after the interview, the fake interview. We do fake emails. That's the next section. Okay, so I don't get people. People write in, people don't write in, and ask questions to celebrities, and the celebrities, they don't. They answer the emails, and I just read them out. Okay. Right now, I'm going to do two emails. Okay. First email. It's from John G. And he asks Zendaya, have you ever had to compromise your principles to get a role? Okay. I have to say yes. I did something I'm not proud of, but I felt if I didn't do it, I would not get the part. When I was starting out, I was nobody, just like mostly everyone in Hollywood. I'll cut to the chase. I had to sleep with one of the producers of the movie. He told me if I had sex with him, it would almost guarantee me the role. I thought about it for a week, and then I just did it. The guy was ugly and older, but he had all the power, and I figured, who the hell cares about sex? Am I right? I don't care about sex. I'm not a slut, but I have sex freely. I think I won on that transaction. It's nothing, really. That one small act jump-started my career, and here we are now. That is all I have to say about that. Okay. That was interesting. That's Zendaya. Email from Zendaya, she answered. I do too. And the second email, Sam K asks, Jennifer Aniston, are you sad that you never had a child? And here's her answer. She answered back. No, she didn't answer back. This is Jennifer Aniston's answer. It's not her answer. No, I never wanted kids. Personally, I think I would make a terrible mother. Plus, I wouldn't want my child to compete with my love of acting. I'm going to tell you a secret that I've never told anyone. Here goes. I got pregnant and I got an abortion. It was a hard time. It was the 3rd season of Friends and I got pregnant. When I found out, no questions, right to abortion. I wasn't ready and I didn't want it. Who was the father, you ask? I shouldn't say because the person is not alive now to defend themselves from reporters. Or maybe I should say so nobody can hassle the father of my child. No, I'm not saying who the father is. I couldn't risk being seen at an abortion clinic. Luckily, I found a team that came to my house to do the abortion. Nobody was the wiser. I'm fine. People have regrets about doing that, but no, career comes first. Family comes like 10th. Okay, that's her answer. Wow. I did not know that. I didn't know it's not true. But wow, that's a revelation. It's not a revelation. Okay, I just do 2 videos. 2 emails. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Okay, this is a new section of my podcast, right? This is where I read children's books, but I read them backwards. So, yeah. Okay, let's get started. I'll start in the back. I get the books from the public library. Let's start. Doesn't really make sense a lot of times, but anyways, okay, here we go. I don't read it backwards. I each page backwards, but I read forwards. Okay, anyways. Standing at the edge of their ant hole, the 2 ants listened to the joyful sounds that came from below. They knew how grateful their mother queen would be when they gave her their crystals. At that moment, the 2 ants felt happier than they'd ever felt before. This was their home. This was their family. This was where they were meant to be. Night had returned when the battered ant awoke to a familiar sound, the footsteps of their fellow insects returning for more crystals. The 2 ants slipped quietly to the end of the line. They climbed the glassy wall and once again stood amid the treasure. But this time they each chose a single crystal and followed their friends home. Something to do with crystals. Here we go. But there was no safety inside these holes. And they're like holes of a socket outlet. A strange force passed through the wet ants. They were stunned senseless and blown out of the holes like bullets from a gun. When they landed, the tiny insects were too exhausted to go on. They crawled into a dark corner and fell fast asleep. In daylight, once again, they raced through puddles and up a smooth metal wall. In the distance, they saw something comforting. 2 long, narrow holes that reminded them of the warmth and safety of their old underground home. They climbed up into the dark openings. It was the, electric socket. Electric outlet. Okay, here we go. The ants were caught in a whirling storm of shredded food and stinging rain. Then, just as quickly as it had started, the noise and spinning stopped. Bruised and dizzy, the ants climbed out of the chamber. Oh, what? They were in somewhere. The tiny insects were pulled off the fountain and plunged down into a wet, dark chamber. They landed on half-eaten fruit and other soggy things. Suddenly, the air was filled with loud, frightening sounds. The chamber began to spin. Oh, I don't know where they are in. Oh, I see. As they got closer to the rushing water, the ants felt a cool spray. They tightly gripped the shiny surface of the fountain and slowly leaned their heads into the falling stream. But the force of the water was too strong. Okay. They landed near what seemed to be a fountain. The waterfall poured from a silver tube. Both ants had a powerful thirst and longed to dip their feverish heads into the refreshing water. They quickly climbed along the tube. It's a water faucet that they're exploring. Okay, here we go. It soon became so unbearably hot that they thought they would soon be cooked. But suddenly the disc they were standing on rocketed upward, and the two hot ants went flying through the air. Okay. But as soon as they had climbed inside, their hiding place was lifted, tilted, and lowered into a dark space. When the ant climbed out of the hole, they were surrounded by silver glow, a strange red glow. It seemed to them that every second the temperature was rising. So they were in a toaster oven. A toaster, not a toaster oven. They were in a toaster. You can't see the pictures, but that's what it was. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Next page. They hurried down the walls that held back the lake. Oh. The frightened insects looked for a place to hide, worried that the giant scoop might shovel them up again. Close by, they found a huge round disc with holes that were neatly hide them. Let me start that again. Close by, they found a huge round disc with holes that could neatly hide them. Then the lake tilted and began to empty into a cave. The ants could hear the rushing water and felt themselves pulled toward the pitch black hole. Suddenly the cave disappeared and the lake became calm. The ants swam to the shore and found that the lake had steep sides. You can't see the picture, but it's actually they're in the coffee of a man. Some guy's drinking coffee. They almost get swallowed up. Okay, here we go. Next page. Around and around it went, creating a whirlpool that sucked the ants deeper and deeper. They both held their breath and finally bobbed to the surface, gasping for air and spitting mouthfuls of the terrible, bitter water. They're in the coffee cup, and it's being stirred. Then the giant scoop stirred violently back and forth. Crashing waves fell over the ants. They paddled hard to keep their tiny heads above water, but the scoop kept spinning the hot brown liquid. Okay, here we go. Next page. The ants were wide awake when the scoop turned, dropping them from a frightening height. They tumbled through space into a shower of crystals and fell into a boiling brown lake. They fell into so you can't see it. It's like salt. No, sugar. You don't put salt in coffee. It's supposed to be sugar. Daylight came. The sleeping ants were unaware of changes taking place in their newfound home. A giant silver scoop hovered above them, then plunged deep into the crystals. It shoveled up both ants and crystals and carried them high into the air. Okay. Why go back? One asked the other. This place may not feel like home, but Look at all these crystals." "You're right," said the other. "We can stay here and eat this tasty treasure every day forever." So the two ants ate crystal after crystal until they were too full to move and fell asleep. Quickly they each chose a crystal, then turned to start the journey home. There was something about this unnatural place that made the ants nervous. In fact, they left in such a hurry that none of them noticed the two small ants who stayed behind. They're in a sugar bowl, and they are left behind from the group. Okay, anyways, next page. They crossed smooth surfaces, then followed the scout up a glassy, curved wall. They had reached their goal. From the top of the wall, they looked below to a sea of crystals. One by one, the ants climbed down into the sparkling treasure. That's the sugar. Crystals are the sugar. When the ants came out of the tunnel, they found themselves in a strange world. Smells they had known all their lives, smells of dirt and grass and rotting plants had vanished. There was no more wind, and most puzzling of all, it seemed that the sky was gone. They went inside the window. They're inside the house now. They were outside. The wind whistled through the cracks of the mountain face. The ants could feel its force bending their delicate antennae. Their legs grew weak as they struggled upward. At last, they reached the ledge and crawled into a narrow tunnel. At the edge of the forest stood a mountain, and the mountain is actually in the picture. It's the wall of the house that they go into. The ants looked up, and could not see its peak. It seemed to reach right to the heavens. But they did not stop. Up the side they climbed, higher and higher. Okay, anyway. Dew formed on the leaves above. Without warning, huge cold drops fell on the marching ants. A firefly passed overhead that, for an instant, lit up the woods with a blinding flash of blue-green light. Okay. Outside. Huge drops, so I guess it's raining. Okay. More than once, the line of ants stopped and anxiously listened for the sounds of hungry spiders. But all they heard was the call of crickets echoing through the woods like distant thunder. Okay. They marched into the woods that surrounded their underground home. Dusk turned to twilight, twilight to night. The path they followed twisted and turned, every bend leading them deeper into the dark forest. It was late in the day when they departed. Long shadows stretched over the entrance of the ant kingdom. One by one, the insects climbed out, following the scout, who had made it clear. There were many crystals where the first had been found, but the journey was long and dangerous. They're getting out of their anthole now. Okay, anyway. She seemed it was most delicious food she had ever tasted. Nothing could make her happier than to have more, much more. The ants understood. They were eager to gather more crystals, sugar basically, because the queen was the mother of them all. Her happiness made the whole ant nest a happy place. The news traveled swiftly through the tunnels of the ant world. The scout had returned with a remarkable discovery, a beautiful sparkling crystal. When the scout presented the crystal to the ant queen, she took a small bite, then quickly ate the entire thing. And that's it. The crystals, they found sugar in the house. In the story, it's called Two Bad Ants. And it's by Chris Van Allsburg. Okay. It's a little adventure of these ants that that got separated by the colony. Okay, that section's done. And yeah, next section. I don't know what's next. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Okay, this is another section of my podcast. I don't know how this one is gonna go. This is a really dumb idea. This is so stupid. But do stupid. Okay, this section called, I don't know what I call it. Tik Tok look. Tik Tok. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. But what I do is I'm gonna scroll through TikTok and find a video that has 0 likes or 0 comments, and that's when I stop scrolling or whatever, swiping. Okay, let's go.
I did get a call one day, and it was the casting
Remy Malik.
Girls, Mara Casey, and she said,
No.
Now you know I love a good bedroom refresh, and I
Commercial. Oh, cleaning a dog. Washing a dog.
Stress is a sign that
This
you've lost the present moment.
this guy, some guy spewing information, advice.
This is the new LG
Commercial.
Q. Look at this tiny.
Oh, I'd love to have that. Advertisement. What is this? Oh, it's like fur. It's like a fur cover for your dog to make him look like a lion almost. It's like a. Okay, let's go.
I have to go to the litter box, please. You have to
Cats.
breathe, Giles. Ooh, the top. So you think NASA landed a rover on Mars 199 million miles away? You sure about that?
Well,
Sure
it's conspiracy theorists.
Devon Island, Canada. Take some photos.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorists.
Oh, God, I just had
Commercial. Killer. Teen killer realizes cops found the secret recording.
Despite the seriousness of her circumstances, Cassie doesn't seem too worried while
Oh.
Yes, we are in fact still going. Welcome to
Dopamine
day 63
reset.
of Dopamine reset.
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
We all know that
There was a
housing is
survey.
expensive in many parts of Canada. The average price.
Oh, some kid trying to get this Boston Bruins fan trying to get a fist bump from the players coming off the ice.
You dreamed about this?
Oh, snowboard or skiing. Oh, he was doing a jump. He was jumping, and he hits the chairlift when he jumped in the air. A skier.
two pins into some cardboard like this, and then connect
Then
them
some
with a
guys-
string and trace it out, you get my favorite geometric shape, an ellipse. But
Ellipse.
there's something really special about these two pinholes. They're called the focus points, and any straight
Okay,
line you
anyways.
snap in any direction from one of the points will bounce off the wall of the ellipse and always hit the other focus
Oh,
point. And here's
that's kind of cool. Oh, two comments close. World Sleep Day.
Then there's a miracle, which is Coca-Cola.
There's a miracle,
No,
Coca-Cola.
I mean it's a miracle because it's the only cold non-alcoholic drink apart from water where anywhere from a beach shack in Zambia to a Michelin-starred restaurant, if you ask for it and they don't have it, it's their fault, not yours. In other words, there is an obligation to actually offer it. which is
Talking about Coke.
there is
Coca-Cola. A cat video. Cat video.
Are you on the streets? You need a job
Person
or
on the
something?
street.
What are you good at?
I did office administration for years.
Yeah, I could get you a job anywhere.
Getting her a
you want
job.
to go. You want to get off the streets? You promise me? Okay, I'm gonna give you enough money to clean up a bit. Can you meet me here tomorrow? I want to know you're serious.
My name's Kate.
Katie?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Tomorrow.
The guy's helping a homeless person. But who knows what's gonna happen there. Then this commercial advertisement. Some joking guy making a joke. Singer. live stream. No likes.
No. Crazy shit's been happening, and I don't know why.
Green screen, life hacks. They're taking time leaves through this hole, and all the leaves takes off the stems. The leaf takes the stems off the leaf and puts it in a little bowl when you put it through the hole. That's smart. Okay, here's a video. Oh no, she's trying to rollerblade. She fell over and got hit in the head by a lamp post. The lamp post top. Oof. Live stream, video game. Okay, and then there's this video of this guy. Honest question to answer. And he's still haven't got 0 likes or 0 comments.
Did you know you can actually own virtual real
4
estate?
comments.
My neighbor doesn't know this, but I actually own that piece of land right there. I play Atlas Earth where I earn virtual rent on my land. I can even redeem my virtual
It's a
rent
game.
into real money. I'm honestly
Virtual land. Miley Cyrus. She's talented, Miley Cyrus. I don't listen to her music, but I think she's super talented. Live stream.
The feeling of loss is the feeling of loss.
This guy, he's a monk,
You lost something, or you're angry about
Shaolin monk,
something, or you
giving advice.
the feeling of
Commercial. Arm & Hammer. Here we go. We can stop now. When you finally achieve motion, but you would low-key have a normal life if it was with that girl. What the hell? When you finally achieve motion, but would low-key have a normal life if it was with that woman, that girl. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Grind protocol, it says. Relatable. His hashtags are relatable and motivation. And he has a $20 bills, like fanned out a bunch of $20 bills. There must be about $100, $200 there. I'm gonna make the first person to make the comment. I'm gonna be the first person to comment. I'm just gonna put "love you, man." I don't know why. That's gonna be my tweet, or not tweet, but my comment on the. Okay, that's the video. I don't know how long that took. So that probably took about 10 minutes, I guess. Okay, that's the section. TikTok lookup. TikTok video look. I don't know what I'm going to call it. TikTok. What am I going to call it? TikTok likes and comments is what I'm going to call it. Or maybe I'll call it TikTok no likes, no comments. Okay. Okay. I think that's the end of the podcast. I'm going to end with that. So, that's my first podcast for this thing that I'm doing. Okay. I'm signing off. Remember, live your life and see what happens. Later.